What is going on, everybody? This is IDogFan41 here, and I have a very special video for you guys here today. This is going to be the video explaining my experiences with how I got to this point in iDog collecting, the history of the iDog, the 20th anniversary, 2 decades old. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So I'm going to grab the first ever iDog here. That's going to be this guy right here. This is the white first generation 2005. This guy was made around September, but designed yesterday, the 4th, January 4th, 2005, was when this guy, the first design, the first prototype, was designed. Thank you, Sterling Andrews, for that information, by the way. And before you guys ask, wasn't this guy here the Sega Toys model first? This one was designed 11 days later on the 15th, believe it or not. It only released before the Hasbro version, which was in April compared to September. But this is the one that started it all. This thing sold so well that this is what came of it, basically. This guy here takes the crown for the first officially released iDog, which was in Japan. This is obviously the Sega Toys model. And the Sega Toys model is widely different than the Hasbro model, as I'm sure everybody knows, based on the lack of musical riffs, the different orientation of the face LEDs. It's a breed of its own, and it's amazing for that. But it didn't actually sell that good. You can go on Mercari Japan or Yahoo Japan auctions, and you'll find 1 or 2 of these at most at a time. These don't show up that often, and when they do, they're either super overpriced or they're used, and you have to take a gamble with that. Now, luckily, these don't have that many problems. The only one I've actually had for Segas that's had problems would be this one right here. Lovely version. This is the only Sega I've ever gotten that has had any sort of problems, being the motor being dead, or not the motor being dead, excuse me. There's a wire off, and there's bad wiring in the body. It caused the motor not to move, so I resoldered that. And then I 3D printed a new head, little lever, spinning knob. So that's a brief history on how iDog got kickstarted, and then 5 years later, they discontinued. They had a good 5 years. I wish it could have gone longer. I really wish they'd come back. I feel like now more than ever is a perfect time to bring the re-release of iDog. Now with Bluetooth capabilities and better speaker technology, they would be a massive sellout. They would sell so many units, and trust me, I would buy every single color and do reviews for all of you guys. But my personal collection journey starts somewhere in between late 2008 and early 2009, because the first photographic evidence of me with iDogs is Valentine's Day of 2009, which is where I have these two. My first ever iDogs ever. This is the This is the Blue Flowers amp. This is the Green Circuits amp. This is my first iDog ever. I got both of these from Target. I got these both at Target. But that's cool because that gives us confirmation that the Wave 2 amps were in stores at the very least, by February of 2009. I was going to be fine with just one. But then the reason I got this one is because of the pitch differences. That was the only reason. This one was low pitch, and this one was slightly high pitch. And that blew my mind. That blew my 4-year-old mind at the time. I didn't know why it was such a big deal or why it happened, but to me it was the biggest deal. Also, this one had much better speaker quality than this one at the time. I improved the speaker quality on this one since. And they do look really bad, by the way. They're in awful condition, as you saw. The paint's coming off. But they're my childhood iDogs. You got to give them credit. The fact that they're still working fully, I've been able to maintain them to this day, is a big deal to me. I'm doing everything I can to keep them going, and they're going. Look at them now. Pink Butterfly and Orange Tropics were my next 2 iDogs after that. I called those the original 4. Those were my first 4 iDogs ever. I took them everywhere I went. I played with them all the time. After that, I kind of lost track of what I got next. I know iTurtle came shortly after that. It was 2009. iTurtle came out 2008. So that was going on at the time. I got my first iDog pup shortly after that, my Blue 07 pup, and then just took off from there. I have this really cool picture of all of the iDogs I ever got from stores, which is a huge deal to me, minus the white and pink special edition soft speakers. I had the plain white and then the pink soft speaker with the velvet flowers. This one right here, I don't know if you can see. And I still have them all today, which is crazy. I discovered the 2005 model around early 2012 when I took a vacation to Spokane, Washington. I was at my cousin's house. They introduced me to the 2005 model. This exact iDog is the one that I was introduced to, along with the red 2005 that they still have possibly in their garage. Would be cool to own that someday. This was my first ever original iDog, and it was a 2007 pink. I'd never known about the 2005. I did not know it existed. I didn't know anything about it. So this was the first ever 2005 iDog that I ever saw in person during that vacation. And it blew my mind. The way it barked before it did the riffs, the way it saved its moods after a battery change, the way it had different personalities that changed based on genres of music. It is set apart from any iDog ever. This is the best iDog ever created, in my opinion. Nothing will top this. The amp comes close. But nothing will pass the features that this has. It has an EEPROM inside the head that allows it to save the mood. All other iDogs, when you take batteries out, they'll reset to whatever default mood they have. Now, this technically was not my first 2005. My first 2005 was actually the Spy Dog that I got brand new in box on eBay. I think it was late 2012, around September, October, November, around that area is when I got this. It's been through a lot. Like all these other ones, I use this thing constantly, and it's needed a lot of all of the shells are not the original shells. Those are from another Spy Dog that I parted out to fix this one. The only parts that are still original are the circuit board, the back part of the head. You can see how worn it is. This piece right here in the back, you can see how worn that is. This iDog was my favorite for a long time, and still is. It's up there. It's a top 5, honestly. I know everyone says Spy Dog's the worst one, and yes, this is the worst one because the lights don't shine through. But just because of the nostalgic value this one holds and the memories I've had with it, it's easily a top 5 for me. Unnegotiable, top 5. Now, I obtained this one shortly after, along with my cousin's this white iDog amp right here. That's my highest pitch one. They didn't want them anymore, and they asked me if I wanted them. I was like, heck yeah. But that one's always been a really hardy one, and that is the second generation. Not to be confused with the first generation, which is the first iDog ever made. Now, I started getting them. I started taking them apart. I started learning to fix them. The biggest problems that I was dealing with was the amps not moving. And it wasn't because the motor was broken, it's because there was a transistor. It's either an IC, I gotta look into it. It's either an IC, an EEPROM, or a transistor. And it looks like this. And that dies. 1, 2, 3, all my original 4 of my original 4 had that problem. Had to either replace the body boards or replace that transistor on all 4 of them. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 of them. Yes, that's correct. 6 of them have had that problem. Then the repairs started kicking up from there. I started fixing the motors, fixing the speakers, etc. 3D printing parts for them in recent days. I'll go over some of the big achievements that we've pulled off in the community thanks to people like Gail, iDog Hacker, Peyton McDonald, who found the test modes. We never knew test modes were a thing. And thanks to people like him, we were able to now know how to access their test modes. Gail, aka Downtown iDogger, was the first one to do light modding, and I started experimenting with that shortly after, and I have some really cool light mods, including this one here. I'll grab a few of them out for you. Blue lights. And it's a purple pop that I custom spray paint. It's a horrible spray paint job, but it's cool. And this is one of my favorite customs I've made. It's based on the K-pop group Twice, as you can see by the logo, and on the ears as well. But this is what I call K-Dog, K-pop iDog. It has 3 big innovations. The first being the light mod. the second being the pitch resistor swap, and the third being the 3D printed ears, tail, nose, swapped parts. This includes parts from a fried black spy dog. The face, I think, is also from a fried black spy dog. The ears are 3D printed. Tail is 3D printed. This is from a label printer. I cut this out from a label printer. I pitch modded it to be super low pitch. It used to be higher pitch, but I never really liked the high pitch. So I pitch modded it to be super low pitch, and I light modded it to look like the Candy Bong Z light stick, which I have right here. So those were some huge changes that the pitch modding thing I just discovered like a week or so ago. Some other people have been doing it. So that being said, 3 big innovations right here. Also, if anyone wants the model for the ears or the ear hubs or the tail even, message me, email me at Giancarlo, GIANCARLO0041 and I will get you those STL files. Here's some iDog pups called iDog Minis that were sold exclusively in Japan, Canada, and the UK that lack a triming switch. And for the longest time, we didn't know about that. Not until I think early 2020 or 2019, somewhere around there, compared to, look at that, Pup, Mini. Pup has a triming switch, Mini does not. This one actually needed a replacement speaker. I have a completely different metal speaker in there, replacing that plastic one. That was another big thing that we started doing, metal speakers in the iDogs. How bad is the glare on this? I have a cool little light thing going to make it look cool. It doesn't look that bad. Hopefully it doesn't show up that bad on video. We're fixing the legs on the dances now, the hind legs, because I modeled that gear. This display is new for the iDog display. This whole thing, I just went down Dollar Tree and got some construction paper to try to mimic the iDog Amps logo, and this 20 years is part of the Pup logo. Kind of try to combine those two, and this is all 3D printed. Same with the LEDs up there. The most recent innovation that Downtown iDogger has started exploring a little bit, and I really hope to start exploring soon, is RIT dye, which is dyeing either a pure white iDog or whatever color iDog, so that actually dyes the color of plastic shells permanently and doesn't actually get rid of any designs. For example, the FCC rules stay put. They don't go anywhere. And that reminds me of another big thing we've been doing, retro brighting. We've been taking these apart, putting them in hydrogen peroxide with an aluminum foil seal, with UV lighting, just letting them sit, letting them cook, and then it takes the yelling away. And it works really good. This is an iDog that used to be completely yellow. This is my Stray Kids K-pop iDog. Used to be completely yellow, and now look at him. He's mostly white. Unfortunately, I've had bad luck with it though, because sometimes they turn back to yellow. Like this dog, this leg, you can kind of see a tint of yellow. Same with this black tattoo right here. This iDog was so hard for me to get. I was looking for this thing for so long. It's such a strange one too. It's the only one that doesn't have a translucent back headpiece. The only wave 2 that doesn't have a design in the middle of the circle here. If you can find a higher pitched black tattoo, comment down below. So yeah, that was just me yapping about iDogs for however long I just yapped. If any of you are actually still here, I appreciate you taking your time. I'm sorry I've wasted your time. Go do something better now. But what you should do is every time you see an iDog post or an iDog video or an iDog content anywhere, drop the hashtag 20 years of iDog. That's 20 years of iDog. Hopefully we can get this out everywhere and somehow get noticed by Hasbro, because this is the perfect opportunity on their 20th anniversary to get some kind of remake going. It would, like I was saying, it would sell great. That's the perfect time to start pushing this and start trying to make it a reality. So yeah, thank you for watching me yap about iDogs for however long I just did. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're not bored. Go do something better with your life now. I will see you guys later. Peace out.